Morning to you. We're going to do a map discussion today, and we're going to start out here with the satellite and surface analysis for this morning, Friday, June 13th. And the first thing you'll notice is pretty expansive cloud cover over east of the Front Range. And this is all thanks due to this subtropical high pressure, probably centered over Bermuda. It's called the Bermuda High. As long as it stays out between Bermuda and Africa, this high is responsible for bringing in some pretty deep moisture, some pretty high moisture content from the Atlantic and the Gulf into the southeastern United States especially. But this pattern has been with us for a few days, at least several days. So it's got ample time to pump in some of this moisture for showers and thunderstorms. And you can see them blossom over yesterday's thunderstorms over Florida and the southeast. Meanwhile, over towards the west, you have a outflow boundary with some ongoing thunderstorms in the Nebraska and Kansas area. This is going to be an area that is going to probably experience some severe weather later today. But as far as our weather in the Carolinas and the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, it's just going to be rather rainy. Typical summertime weather. Taking a look at the surface analysis from early this morning, we can see draped across the mid Mississippi River Valley into the high plains and back eastward towards the Ohio River valleys and parts of the mid-Atlantic region, a frontal boundary, and temperatures north of this frontal boundary have been rather cool, 60s, upper 50s, while south of the frontal boundary you have temperatures in the upper 80s, and this provides a focusing mechanism for showers and thunderstorms. And anywhere south of this front really is, you have a chance of seeing some precipitation as long as this Bermuda high stays where it is, being able to pump moisture up into the eastern parts of the United States from the Atlantic and the Gulf. You're going to see some showers and thunderstorms out of these things. In fact, we still have rain, but especially between Charlotte and Greensboro. This area last night, if you sail the short, had some pretty decent amounts of rainfall from thunderstorms that, interestingly enough, were from a boundary called the Sea Breeze boundary. It had made its way all the way up to the Charlotte metro area and interacted with some outflow boundaries from the storms in the foothills and western Piedmont, near the Hickory down towards the Shelby area. Outflow boundary interacting with Sea Breeze, and it kind of stalled out right there. And it's pretty interesting to see on radar. But what you don't want to see is all those just heavy rain just sitting over an urban area where draining is, they do the best they can, but it's still limited because there's concrete and asphalt everywhere. So that rain has since moved off of the Charlotte metro area and is still lightly raining between Charlotte and High Point, Greensboro this morning. So how is all this going to evolve over the next several days? Let's get into it. As mentioned before, this is the 5 a.m. surface map, Eastern Time, 5 a.m. Eastern Time, surface map across the continental United States. There's our frontal boundary and our high pressure to the north and higher pressure from our subtropical, our Bermuda high, bringing in that tropical moisture for showers and thunderstorms. So how is all this going to evolve? Well, as you can probably guess, it's going to pretty much rain south of that front. In fact, by this afternoon, again, we can expect some widespread showers and thunderstorms, locally severe, but nothing organized, not like over in Montana and parts of Wyoming and the Dakotas. Um, that's organized severe weather expected up there, but here in the southeast, just your tropical moisture, typical summertime afternoon showers and thunderstorms, pulse like severe storms possible. Yeah. Um, of course, as the day goes on and sun sets, you lose that heating. So you do not get showers and thunderstorms typically lasting all night long. But in some parts, you could see that as well. And guess what? Same thing tomorrow, Saturday, June 14th. Widespread showers and thunderstorms, again in the afternoon mainly, and pretty much focused on the North Carolina mountains here. And of course, as nighttime comes, those showers and thunderstorms kind of die off. They're called diurnally, the diurnal cycle. The sun heats up the atmosphere and the atmosphere becomes unstable. Storms explode. But then when the sun goes down, the atmosphere loses that heating and storms die. They don't like cold air. So if we go on into next week, that frontal boundary is still pesky, still sitting across the same area. Maybe have gotten a little bit of a southward push over the Ohio River Valley. That front forecast to be in northern Kentucky Monday morning. And then it surges back up because of that Bermuda high. Those we have some southerly flow across the southeast, bringing in that moisture. Well, that's going to lift fronts up towards the north and spread that moisture even wider and farther. And then we get a nice system, probably bringing in some cooler, drier air across the eastern parts of the United States. This is forecast, especially from the ECMW F runs from yesterday. There's still a little some spread in the models, so this has to be watched. Is if you do not like the humid weather, this might be a signal for some relief. But this is 7 days out in advance. Who knows? So we have high pressure off the coast of the southeast United States pumping in moisture. What's going to happen? It's going to rain. And that's exactly what one of my favorite models, the NBM National Blend of Models, has widespread precipitation over the southeast. So you got some splotches here where it's missed, but these are hit or miss. We don't know exactly where showers and thunderstorms will develop, how long they'll stay over an area, but what this means is the pattern looks like a typical summertime pattern where at least over the next 7 days you can expect some pretty hefty amounts, especially locally with those heavier showers and thunderstorms. So here's my third favorite model, the North American Ensemble Forecasting System, which takes the GFS and its ensemble members and the Canadian model and its ensemble members, and then makes like a bigger ensemble model. This particular map is trying to predict extreme forecast 2-meter temperatures, so above average and below average to the extreme. And notice that you got some pretty cool weather, pretty cool temperatures for this time of year. It's not like it's going to be downright cold where you have to have a coat. No. Well, you might have to have a coat, but people in Minnesota, sometimes 60s is pretty warm up here. Anyways, it's cooler than it should be this time of year, and also to some extent in the mid-Mississippi River Valley and the mid-South. This is for today, Friday. If we go into Saturday, notice that those extreme temperatures are staying to the south and off the coast, pretty much because you have extensive cloud cover and showers and thunderstorms ongoing across the southeastern United States. It's not the heat, it's the humidity. Now, as we go into next week, here we have a Monday night. Tuesday, we starting to creep in some of that heat. Some warmer than average temperatures can be expected by Wednesday into Thursday. So this this kind of goes along with what the models have been trying to tell us, where a mid-level ridge could develop. How strong it is, models vary. But let's just take quickly a look at it. Looking at today, this is the GFS. This is our 500 millibar maps. This is looking at pretty much halfway up the weather producing atmosphere. You see the trough that's helping to enhance some showers and thunderstorm coverage over the Mid-South. And you see our jet stream that's looks almost bifurcated up here in Canadian prairies. But if we go forward, you'll notice that a ridge starts to build in the desert southwest, and a closed off upper level high pressure system develops off the southeastern coast. And what those two features do by Tuesday into Wednesday. So this is the Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon maps. What these do is it suppresses any vertical motion. And when you have a suppression of vertical motion, you do not have too many clouds. When you don't have too many clouds in the summertime heat, that sun beats down and pretty much warms up the atmosphere. Then, at least according to the GFS, a trough comes in, probably kicks out some of that heat. But let's look at some of the variability in these models. So here is the Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. You have deep southerly flow across the southeastern United States, bringing in some pretty deep moisture. If we take a look at the comparison between models, so we're looking at the climate forecast system. Whatever. That's pretty good agreement. Here's the GFS, of course. There is the ECMWF. It is a little bit more suppressed on that upper level high system. Pretty much a zonal flow over the Carolinas at 500 millibars. And then the Canadian model features somewhere in the middle of the GFS and Euro. The Euro looks to be a bit more southerly than the other two models, the Canadian and the GFS. But yes, this is what they have to deal with. Not me. I don't get paid for this. But yeah. So that's, something that they have to work out, is those model differences. But yeah, not me. Not me. That's all I have for you today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.